Today's recipe is Sindhi Kadhi. This is one of my favorite recipes from my childhood. My mom used to make this recipe quite often, and she was taught this by a friend of hers. So here I will be using besan, known as chickpea flour, and here I've got about 50 grams of chickpea flour. I've got 85 grams of cooking oil. Also, it's around half a cup of cooking oil. Here I have 1 tablespoon of ginger, which I made a paste along with 1 green chili. And here I will be using curry leaves. These are 2 sprigs of curry leaves and around 25 curry leaves, also known as curry patta. Here I have got methi dana, known as fenugreek seeds, which is quarter teaspoon. Here I've got mustard seeds, which is known as rye, which is 1 teaspoon. Here I've got 2 teaspoons of cumin seeds, also known as zira. I will be using some spices here. Here I've got 1 teaspoon of lal mirchi powder, also known as red chili powder. This is spicy, it's 1 teaspoon. Here I've got dhania powder, also known as coriander powder, which is 1 teaspoon. Here I've got haldi powder, which is also known as turmeric, it's 1 teaspoon. Here I've got some jaggery. Now this jaggery is 4 grams, or you can use up to 1 teaspoon. This is your choice, up to you. Here I've got salt as per taste. Right now I've put 1 teaspoon of salt, but I'm going to taste the salt at the end of the recipe. Here I've got Imli, also known as tamarind. What I've done is I have soaked 50 grams of tamarind in hot water, and I will be using this for the recipe. Here I've got about 2 medium-sized tomatoes, which I boiled. I removed the skin, I removed the top part of the tomato, and I made a puree of it in my food processor. So this is the masala part of the Sindhi Kadhi. The second part of the Sindhi Kadhi is the vegetables. For that we need the following vegetables. For the vegetables, it's all your choice what type of vegetable you want to add to the Sindhi Kadhi. The charm of this curry is the vegetables. Here I will be using 250 grams of drumsticks, also known as sekte ki phalli or sojne ki phalli. Here I will be using some okra, also known as lady's finger or bhendi, which is around 170 grams of okra or 180 grams. Here I've got 4 baby eggplants, which is around 200 grams. Here I will be using 2 types of yams. So one is this is the white yam, and it is 180 grams, and the orange one is actually butter squash, and here I will be using again 180 grams. Here I've got some aloo. The potatoes are around 170 grams. This is 2 medium sized potatoes. Here I will be using some dudi, also known as lauki or long squash. Now with the skin on, it is 280 grams, but when I remove the skin and the seeds, it's about 130 grams. Here I've got some small onions known as shallots, and here I've got around 50 grams of shallots. I'm only using 3. Here I've got some cauliflower florets. It's around 7 florets. It weighs 200 grams. I've got gawar ki phalli, which is around 60 grams, and it's about 30 gawar ki phalli pieces. 30 I've used, and this is what I will be using for my vegetables. And we will also need some hot boiling water for this recipe. I will let you know how much I use while I'm cooking. So let's start making this recipe. Now, when you're using these vegetables for cooking, there are different ways of adding it to the curry. So first, the vegetables that I want to boil with the curry will be drumsticks, potatoes, and dudi and shallots. Then there are some vegetables that I will be shallow frying, which is lady's finger and eggplant. Remember to dry this thoroughly and make sure there's no moisture in it. And I will be deep frying the cauliflower for this recipe. Make sure there's no moisture in these vegetables. I will also be deep frying the yam and the butternut squash, and I will be adding the gawar ki phalli with the drumsticks and the potatoes in this recipe. So as I make the recipe, I will explain the process. So let's start cooking. I will be using a pressure cooker for this recipe, but I won't pressure cook the Sindhi Kadhi, but because my pressure cooker is heavy bottom pan, that's what I want. I want a heavy bottom pan, and that's why I'm using my pressure cooker. So first thing first, I have turned my stove on and I will be adding my oil to the pot. I'll wait till the oil becomes a bit warm before adding in my fenugreek seeds and cumin seeds and mustard seeds. So I'll wait till the oil becomes a bit warm. To the warm oil, I will add methi dana, also known as fenugreek seeds, and just let it cook in it for 30 seconds. To the methi dana now, I will add in my mustard seeds, also known as rye, and let the mustard seeds crackle for at least 30 seconds. Now when you hear the crackling of the mustard seeds, then introduce your cumin seeds, which is 2 teaspoons. And I will also be adding my ginger and green chili paste. Be very careful when you're adding the ginger and green chili paste because of the moisture in the ginger, the oil can splash. And now what I'll do is I will lower my flame to the lowest and I will add in, once you hear the crackling sound disappearing, then I will add in my besan, also known as gram flour or chickpea flour. And what I'm going to do is, on very low flame, I will continuously whisk it so that it doesn't burn. And on the lowest of low flame, please make sure that you're continuously mixing it. If you're using a whisk, you can, but I think I'll switch to the spoon because it's easier for me. I will be cooking this besan and till I see some change in color. So I want this besan to cook. Cooking the Sindhi Kadhi might take anywhere between half an hour to 45 minutes or even an hour, depending on your stove top. So here, because we have to cook the entire recipe in very low flame, on very low flame, and making sure nothing burns along the way. And while we are doing sauteing the besan, make sure to continuously stir because you don't want anything to stick to the bottom of the pan. It's been 15 minutes since I have been stirring this besan with the oil on the lowest flame. Now what I'll do is, you can see the color of the besan has changed a bit. It's become a bit deeper in color. Now I don't want to cook this further because I don't want the besan to burn. At this point of time, I will add in my curry leaves. The remaining I'll add as and when I add the vegetables. So I just want these curry leaves to infuse the flavors with the oil and the besan. Also very quickly, I will be adding some of my powders. I will be adding all my powder spices, which is red chili, coriander, as well as turmeric powder. Give it a very quick stir. And now at this point of time, I will be switching to a whisk and I will be adding my hot water. Make sure that no lumps form when you add the hot water. Immediately give it a quick stir. Just add all the water and keep stirring. Stir quick so that the lumps that even form while you're adding, it all starts dissolving quick. And continuously whisk for another 10 minutes. So here I'm adding 2 liters of boiling hot water, plus I will be adding my Imli or tamarind water, which is 1 cup of water towards the end of this recipe as well. So that will also be an added liquid. And I'm still cooking this curry on low flame. You can increase the flame to low to medium a bit and stir. I'll just change from the whisk to a different spoon and continuously stir, and see there are no lumps at all. So initially when you add the water, you will see some lumps, but Because it's hot water, it can dissolve quick. So continuously stir, making sure you don't stop stirring. And I've increased my flame now to low to medium, not medium but low to medium, and continuously stir. Now I'll just stop stirring for a minute or two, and then I'll start stirring again. And I want this uh, mixture to come to a boil before adding the pureed tomatoes. I'll just let this cook on low flame, occasionally stirring till a boil comes. It's been exactly 10 minutes since this has been boiling. Once it starts to come to a rolling boil, that's when I'm going to add in the tomato puree that I made. This recipe takes a while to cook, so because there are different steps and methods, but the beauty of this recipe is in its taste. It's an excellent recipe to try. You can see it's coming to a boil, and I always stir occasionally because I don't want anything burning here in my recipe. And that's why I've used a pressure cooker here, because it's thick bottom pan, like it's thick bottom. And please do not make this in a non-stick, because non-stick is generally a bit light, the bottom of the non-stick, and then there are high chances of the besan burning also. And now my flame is on medium. I've increased the flame to medium. You can see it's come to a rolling boil. Now at this point of time, I will continuously stir and add in my tomato puree that I prepared. Give it a good stir, and you need to cook this further for another 10 to 15 minutes before adding some of the vegetables. But right now what I'll do is I will be adding my shallots, the baby onions, and I'll cook it for a further 10 to 15 minutes before adding some vegetables. And lower the flame to low to medium and occasionally stir. If you do not want to add onions to this recipe, you don't need to. But I like the onions because when the onions start cooking with this curry, it gives a nice sweet flavor to it while it's cooking. And you can skip the vegetables in this recipe that I have used, but the main important vegetables that you need to use is drumsticks and gawar ki phalli, also known as cluster beans. And also you need to use potatoes if you like. So it's up to you what you want to use in this recipe. And this is a vegan recipe because there's no yogurt, there's no milk product or anything that is not vegan. So it's a very good recipe to try. And I've also made Zeera rice to have with this Sindhi Kadhi. So I'm going to let this cook. Now I'm decreasing the flame on low, and I'll let this cook for a further 10 minutes, stirring occasionally. Now while I'm cooking this, sometimes I increase the flame from low to medium. So you can do that, and then again put the flame back to low. I've just increased the flame to medium from low, and it's been 10 minutes already. Now I'll cook this for a further 3 to 4 minutes before adding some of my vegetables. It's been, in total, it's been exactly 14 minutes. So now I will be adding my drumsticks. I will be also adding my gawar ki phalli, also known as cluster beans. I will be adding the dudi, also lauki known as long squash, and I will also be adding the potatoes. My flame right now is on medium, and I will be lowering my flame to the minimum now. I will also be adding the remaining curry leaves, also known as curry patta, and I will let this cook for at least 15 minutes, or till the potatoes are done in this recipe, and the drumstick as well as the gawar ki phalli. So I will lower my flame fully. Now I will cover and cook these vegetables on low to medium flame while stirring occasionally, and once the potatoes are almost done, then I'll add the remaining vegetables. So let's move on to preparing the other vegetables for this recipe. Here I've got some okra, also known as bhendi or lady's finger, as well as eggplant, or known as brinjals, also known as bengan. So what I'll do is I will shallow fry these two vegetables. So first I'll start with the lady's finger, and what I'll do is I'll remove the green part of the brinjal or eggplant, and I will slice it into half and then shallow fry it. So let's do that. To a frying pan, I'll add in some oil just for shallow frying. So let's shallow fry the okra, and I'm going to shallow fry this till it changes its color. And while that's happening, I will cut my eggplants into halves. Let's cut the eggplant, the green part of it, and be very careful while you're handling the knife. And then this eggplant I'm going to cut into half, and I'll continue doing it with the rest of the eggplant or bengan. So this is what I will be doing. And while the okra is frying, also pay attention to your curry, and I will be stirring that right now. And just in case the oil is splashing, you can always use a lid to protect yourself from the oil splashing on you. Fry this okra till light golden, and we don't want the okra to be completely cooked because we will be adding this to the curry as well. So you can see the tinge of brown on the okra. I think this is the right time to remove it and keep it aside. So I will be doing that. Just remove and keep aside. This is how it looks. Now I'll fry the eggplant. Place the eggplant this way on the pan. Now fry these eggplants as well. Now while these eggplants are frying, I will also deep fry my other vegetables. Just move the frying pan a bit on the other side, and I will also start to deep fry. While doing that, I always continuously stir my curry. You can see my curry is cooking here, and I just stirred it. It's looking amazing. So I go back to my frying pan and my wok. I will be frying my yam as well as the butternut squash as well as the cauliflower. So when you're deep frying all this, please be careful. Add oil. I will be using a lid to protect myself while deep frying the vegetables, because you never know if there's still moisture in them despite me removing it. While we are waiting for the oil to get warm, we will just turn the eggplants around so that they're fried on this side as well. Now, if you don't want to fry the yam for the curry, then it will be a little sticky and it won't taste as good. So always fry your yams. Now very carefully put in. The oil is not hot enough. It's getting there. So you can see the bubbles around the yam. That's when I'll add the remaining yam, and I want to deep fry these. Just adding my shield here. That's the lid, because I don't want this oil suddenly splashing on me. Now the eggplants also look done. So what I'll do is I'll remove it and I'll add it to the bowl in which I place my okra. Now while the yams are frying, I will see how the curry is doing. Let's check on our curry. Give it a good stir. And it's been around 15 minutes. First the potato, then I'll check on the other vegetables. First let's check. Potato is like almost there. Okay, that's good. And let's check on the drumstick. Drumstick also is almost there, like 90% cooked. And let's see on the gawar, also known as cluster beans, they are already done. So that's good. So now what I'll do is I will decrease the flame to low, and then once my yams, cauliflower are fried, then I'll add all the vegetables and continue cooking for just another 10 minutes. Don't cook these yams till they are 100% done. Just see that they are brown well, and the knife should just go through, but it shouldn't be 100% cooked. So it's around 80% cooked. Now at this point of time, I will remove these yams, and I will add it to my okra and eggplant. So just drain the oil off. Be very careful because everything is hot. Now finally fry the cauliflower. Please be careful because the oil is hot, and like I said, I use a lid as a shield so that the oil will not splash on me. Just be very careful. Like I said, always be careful when you're frying, deep frying any vegetable, because vegetables, even if you dry them, always contain moisture. You can see I've added the cauliflower florets. Now let this fry for at least 3-4 minutes, and then we will move on to the next step. Now I like the way the cauliflower looks. It's changed its color, you can see here, and at this time I will remove it and I'll add it to the remaining vegetables that we've deep fried and shallow fried. So these are all the vegetables that we've shallow fried and deep fried, and this is what we'll add now to the curry. So let's do that. Now let's check on the curry. Now all this, the potatoes, the drumsticks and the gawar ki phalli has been cooking since about 20 minutes. Now what I'll do is I'll add the rest of the fried and shallow fried vegetables to the curry. Give it a quick stir, and I haven't added salt right now. So what I'll do is I didn't add salt at all. So now I'll add salt to the recipe, and you can taste for salt once everything is cooked. And I will also add in my tamarind water, which I soaked it in 1 cup of hot water. And this you need to discard. Give it a quick stir. At this point of time, I will also add in my jaggery, also known as good. Now, if you don't want to add your good or jaggery, you can skip this. I'm just adding it to balance the tanginess in this recipe. And now I will further cook this, see if all my vegetables are cooked well as I will taste for the salt. And this recipe can be enjoyed with Zira rice. It's been exactly 5 minutes since I added the eggplant and the remaining vegetables. Now let's just check if everything is cooked well. So I will check on the cauliflower, and you can see it's cooked. And let's check on the yam. You can see it's cooked so well. And you can see this drumstick is cooked well as well. So at this point of time, I will be turning my stove off because all my vegetables are well cooked. If time, you can serve this with Zira rice. I will plate it and show you how it looks. It took me almost an hour and a half to prepare this recipe. I like to serve the Sindhi Kadhi with some Zira rice. For the recipe of Zira rice, I will leave a link in the description box below. I've shown many recipes of rice. I will leave the links below. And this is how we like to enjoy our Sindhi Kadhi. If you have a different way of making it, please leave a comment, and probably I might just try that as well. So please comment, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Please click on the bell icon for notification of my latest videos. And thank you for watching. Enjoy!